You've been listening to the True Cash Flow Podcast, where we show you our best strategies and techniques we implement to build streams of passive income online, generating millions of dollars in revenue last year alone. To get some of our free training videos, just go to truecashflow.com and we will send you our quick start guide for free.
Welcome. Today's going to be a really exciting show because I brought one of the Inner Circle members, Justin, who his story is absolutely incredible. He wants to share not just what he did right, but what he did wrong. And that's what's so fun about being part of the Inner Circle is there's always going to be hurdles. There's always going to be struggles, and there's always going to be really cool successes. So let's start off this way, Justin. In your first 30 days of selling on Amazon, how did that work out for you?
I'd say pretty good. It was real fun to just refresh during the day and watch the sales go through on an hour basis. But yeah, I managed to do 46,500.
So in your first 30 days, you did 46,500 in sales?
Yes.
Wow. And what was your best day?
It was definitely the last 3 days that you were able to do next day air. It was 3 in a row that were just about 200.
Wow. 200. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And that was in your first 30 days.
Yes.
So I want to be clear that don't expect you're going to do 46,000 in sales in your first 30 days because that's better than what I did, right? And that's not something that you want people to think like, okay, I'm just going to launch a product and I'm going to do 46,000 in my first 30 days. So how long did it take for you to get through the training videos?
Oh boy. I kind of did the saturation method and I watched them over and over and over. It was kind of one of those things where, measure twice and cut once. So, I was really repeatedly watching over and over. I would say I probably looked into that stuff for a full month before I decided which product I was going to sell.
And I was just going to ask you that. So I know it's not fair to you to share your exact product, but what category is your product in?
I would say kitchen and dining.
Kitchen and dining. Okay. And how long did it take for you to select that product?
It took me a while. There was a lot of fear of the unknown, not knowing what to expect. I kind of picked it and then put it aside and thought of some other things, and then I just came back to it.
Did you follow the exact process? Does it sell well? Can I compete? Are the margins there? Did you do exactly what's in the videos?
Amazon Product Finder was absolutely crucial to that whole process.
Yeah, because it showed you if the margins were there, if you can compete, and if it sells well.
It's funny how that phase seems to be the hardest one for everyone. It really is, because then you just have to buckle down and pick one and go with it.
Yeah, and it's really cool because, you didn't just grab the first thing. You found it, and then you started second guessing, going to other products, then coming back to that product, but ultimately doing over 46,000 in your first month. So tell us, people are going to want to know this. Why did you even want to start selling on Amazon? What's your motivation to start internet marketing?
Just the potential. When I was looking at the screenshots from your successes and things like that, it was just like, you'd have to be pretty dopey not to dive into this. There's too much potential to just leave it alone.
And a lot of people will wonder too, do you work a job and you're doing this part-time, or do you spend 50 hours a week on this?
No, this is completely part-time. Maybe I'm spending an hour a day.
So where do you find that time? What did you give up for this?
I still have another job, which is my main career, but that's really a situation where I have to be available for when the phones ring. And so it kind of was a natural fit where I was able to, work on this while waiting for the phones to ring.
Right. So you find it in your own way, or then your free
Absolutely.
time and you're constantly thinking of new products.
And did you use the sourcing agents that we use?
Yeah, absolutely. Your sourcing agent that you referred me to was absolutely integral. Couldn't have done it without them.
Did it seem a little scary to deal with people in China in the beginning?
Absolutely. Yeah, you just don't know what the quality control is like. There's a lot in the air, but I think choosing a simple product and staying away from electronics was a good thing for our first time.
Absolutely. So it helped to have
Labeler.
some kind of trust or foundation of trust when you went through China.
Absolutely. I couldn't have done it without your program, just because selecting a sourcing agent without having a recommendation would have been terrifying.
That's right, because most people already have the fear of not knowing if they could trust someone in general, let alone someone
Right.
that doesn't speak your language, that's 9,000 miles away, and it could seem scary. But did it seem a lot less scary once you went through the process?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And what do you think is the biggest key to your success? What do you think is the number one thing that helped you get to 46,000 in your first 30 days?
I would say a commitment and a faith in myself to roll with the punches, I guess. I kind of was like, I've got this product ordered. It's hit Amazon. It doesn't sell the way I want it to. There are steps I can take. There are things I can do. I was just committed not to fail.
That's really cool. And as far as marketing, you must have spent a bunch of money on advertising.
Actually, not too bad. My ACOS, average cost of sale, is below 10%. I'm around 6 or 7%.
Wow,
Wow.
So in advertising, you only spent about 6 or 7% of the revenue?
Yeah.
So you're talking $2,500?
Actually, I would say a little less than that.
Wow.
That's really
Yeah.
impressive. You're talking about the ad techniques that we teach and only
Absolutely.
spending less than $2,500, but doing it the way that we teach you. And that brought in the 46,000 in sales, that alone?
Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah, I'm mind blown. Those are better numbers than I've ever done. I mean, I've spent very little in advertising, but not that little in advertising to generate that kind of money.
Right.
And it's kind of funny. Your story is similar to mine that, initially, how many products did you order?
1,500.
And in your first 30 days, you had sold 1,400 of those, right?
1411. Yeah.
So now you had the exact same problem I had, is you sold out too fast.
Yep.
And now you're going to have a lag time before your new order comes in.
Exactly.
So you will be out of inventory. And what's your turnaround time? Like, when are you expecting to have your next batch?
So I just finished a payment on my second order, and they're expecting it to come early part of February.
Okay, so it won't be too bad. You're talking a few weeks. So, yeah, that's impressive, though, that you were able to move them that fast. But I did the same exact thing. I ordered a bunch. I sold out way too fast. Then my new problem was that I had no inventory, and I'm literally making 0 per day. But it's a good problem to have because I sold out my first 3,000 before I could get more. So it's a problem, but there could be way worse problems than that.
Absolutely. It's a good problem to have.
So, Justin, you mentioned that you were looking at new products as well.
Yes.
And what criteria are you using to determine whether or not they're good?
Almost entirely Amazon Product Finder. I'm going through and just seeing what's moving. I'm having to get out of the headspace of what would I buy, and I'm looking into what's being bought, what other people are already buying, and just kind of hopping on that bandwagon.
And not that I don't expect any praise from you, but what would you say was the best part of the course? Because a lot of people are going to wonder, going through, being a part of the inner circle. If I go to truecashflow.com, enter my name and my email, what can I expect? So what's the best thing? And then I'm going to ask you, what's the worst thing?
What we can fix.
Yeah, because I look to get better.
I would say the best thing is, that's actually hard to pick. So I really like the way that you have videos and things available where you're having conversations and you're taking questions from other people who are doing what I'm doing. And then on top of that, you also give PDF and, kind of bite-sized lessons and bullet point style lessons that help me get straight to the point when I don't really need the elaboration. Both of those together were just absolutely crucial. And then the other thing that I like is that you continue to update after you continually go over segments, and every time you guys do a segment, you do it a little bit differently. You take different questions. It was very good for me to hear you guys update your thoughts on what you had learned. Also, having the old ones, I mean, it's just a whole lot of content that was crucial to me.
So I love the fact that that's a good compliment, because that is my goal, to give the right information, give you not just the full elaborate way that I do things, but the PDFs and taking the time to do the weekly webinars and to be able to support you guys and be able to take live questions. But I'm tough. Tell me, what was the worst part about this? Like, what do I need to improve on?
You know, I would have to be nitpicking pretty hard to come up with anything. I mean, shy of upping your production budget. And, you know, even in that case, it wasn't a problem for me because it was so honest. And it was, I mean, it's not about having some crazy scenery behind you or crazy animations on screen. You were talking straight from the hip about your experience, your real life experience. That was important to me. So I really can't come up with a.
So I need better cameras and a better backdrop.
I don't even know if you do, but if I had a gun in my head, I have to give you a complaint. That would be it.
Well, that's probably the most critical thing I've ever heard from someone. Yeah, I'm really going to take that to heart, because I think I have to rethink the way that I'm doing these things.
You know, I don't think you do, because it comes across with an honesty that, and quite frankly, you're prioritizing the facts and your experience, and that was just very valuable to me. Yeah, more valuable than having, you know, some celebrity come on and give the finger guns.
I appreciate that, because, you know, that's really my goal, right? And that's why we keep the inner circle small, because I don't want to have 100,000 people, because how could you support them? How could they interact with each other? The goal of this, and that's why it's an application to join the inner circle, because we want to work with the right people that are open-minded, teachable, coachable. And Justin, coming up really soon, we're going to be having our mastermind where we all get together in LA, where it's a chance for all the inner circle members to get to meet each other, exchange ideas. We go through some really cool latest and greatest and what's working right now with Amazon. So as a member of the inner circle, it's going to be amazing if you're able to attend, because you're an inspiration. A lot of people, you know, there's been people that have done 100,000 in the first 90 days. There's, you know, last year I did multi-seven figures on the internet, not just Amazon, but leveraging the entire internet. And there's people that are just starting out. So it's really cool to see where people are at now, what they've done, what they're doing different than you. And I learn a lot. You know, the last mastermind that we were just at, you know, I probably learned more from them than they learned from me, because there's so many different little unique situations and things that you really got to keep in mind if you're going to do this.
Yeah, I'll definitely try to make it out there. I mean, it sounds invaluable.
So, Justin, if somebody listening now is wondering whether or not they should be a part of that inner circle, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that if you are self-motivated and you are the type that has faith in yourself and your ability to follow through with something, that absolutely, I mean, you would be foolish not to.
And what would you say has been your biggest takeaway? Like, why? I mean, everybody loves making money, but you must have a reason, because you're working. You already have a job. Like, what's your reason to want to generate a passive income?
You know, this seems to work better than real estate. The returns seem to be better than, you know, a lot of investing that you can do. You know, it's more volatile. There's more risk, but it seems like the return on your investment is just too good to pass up.
But you have a personal motivation, right? Is it to have more time with your family? Is it to be able to travel more? Is it be able to buy an investment house? Like, what's your reason that you want to do this?
I would definitely like to pay off my house. Absolutely.
Okay. And everybody has a different motivation, right? Like, do you want to,
Right.
do you ultimately want to quit your job, or what are your goals?
I kind of love what I do, so I don't mind doing it in addition to, but eventually, if I could transition into this only, I would do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, like, what's your backstory?
So I've been a loan officer for about 10 years, and I definitely enjoy, helping people get into home ownership. It definitely has its own rewards. But there's just a lot of downtime. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of time just waiting for the phones to ring and being available. So in my free time, being able to see an exponential gain from such a little investment was just very attractive to me.
So, Justin, thank you so much for being part of this interview, because you truly are an inspiration. It doesn't mean just because you did 46,000 in the first 30 days that anyone else can do that. But it's really cool that you were able to do it just implementing the ad technique that we teach. I mean, that humbly, makes me feel amazing that you were able to take that process and implement it into your business. And it's pretty cool that you were able to have such tremendous success so quick. And I can't wait to see where you're going to be 6 months from now. And it'll be really cool to interview you again and see your process. So any final words?
No, I'm really, really happy to have stumbled on to all of this. And, one thing I've heard you guys say a lot is that success leaves evidence. And just to follow that and to repeat what's already been successful for others, and just to see it actually working for me, it was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
Best video game I've ever played.
Yeah, I feel the same way. We're actually just doing, on our last show, we were just talking about how it's like fun. It's like playing a video game, but you actually make money instead.
Absolutely.
So we hope you guys enjoyed this interview with Justin. It's a super amazing inspiration, and he even inspires me. Even though he's brand new to the course, his level of commitment and what he's taken it to in such a short amount of time blows me away. And on the next podcast, we're going to have a really cool subject that I love talking about. And if you're interested in applying to be part of the Inner Circle, go to truecashflow.com, enter just your first name and your email, and we'll meet you on the other side.
You were listening to the True Cash Flow Podcast. If you would like our free training videos, go to truecashflow.com, enter just your first name and email address, and we will meet you on the other side. The information presented in this podcast is intended for your educational and informational purposes only. None of the statements contained in this podcast should be viewed as a prediction, guarantee, or promise that participating in our recommended programs will result in you generating a certain amount of income or achieving any level of monetary success. Success in any endeavor is based on a number of factors, including but not limited to hard work and capital resources. There are inherent risks in any business opportunity, and caution should be exercised before applying our information. You are encouraged to consult your attorney, CPA, or financial advisor before doing so.